We are recording. So I threw a couple ideas out today, or for today, and what I was hearing is I'd love to do a little round robin of how everyone's doing. For some reason, I just feel like this last week has been lots of stuff going on in her and outer. And then I'm getting the hit of less is more, in the sense of let's do the message part this week. And then we could do the piece I mentioned around, which I don't felt like I explained super well, but just that piece around, I've been looking at how am I taking the messages off of, our vision boards and from my daily meditations, and putting them in some form that then is a little more organized in terms of what I might be doing for the day or what I might be sending out in the world. And I'd love to kind of hear from each one of you of how that's going too. So I think we should save that for next week. And today I would love to do a combination of just tuning in and seeing what those messages have been throughout this year that we want to compile in one place, because I'm just finding the more I stay tuned in to those kind of energetic messages, the things around just be you, or message over mechanics, or trust your inner guidance, whatever those come through, that the more I just feel like I'm on track and on my path, and it almost matters then less what my to-do list is. So I'm seeing that there's certain messages that were group messages, right? That they're just themes throughout the group. And then there were certain messages that were for each one of us individually. And so I'm thinking we'll do the kind of download part for the group, and then give you time to do anything that you feel is more personal. And then we can also do a little sweep of, if you have journals, or if anyone needs their Master Heart notes that were typed up, if you want to look back through that, just to do a little scan of what were those themes from the year. And Tim, what I'd love to see the outcome is that we have a document that I can share that kind of just compiles them in one place that we can all refer to. And Linda has a question.
Sorry, I just didn't want to forget to ask you guys.
I was like, you're doing research to get the messages through Myers-Briggs? Took me a second.
It's another little project that I'm working on. Just asking everyone I know, if you know your Myers-Briggs.
I don't. Some people have it memorized and they know exactly what they are, and I can never remember what mine is. So
yeah, well, I mean, if you don't resonate with it, I mean, for some people that's not important. So it's cool that you don't remember.
What I remember about mine was I took it when I was right out of college, and for at least 2 of the letters, I scored right at the borderline. I could have been either. And I know I was either an I or an E, but then I don't remember which. I don't know if I was an F or a T, maybe. So I'm not, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that everybody here is an NF in the middle. I just don't know if you're I's or E's at the beginning, or P's or J's at the end.
Is I an E, introvert, extrovert?
Mm-hmm. I'm an introvert. I'm I.
I can be both.
Well, the way Myers-Briggs works, it's you can actually be in the middle, I guess is the best way to say it. So sometimes you can be an introvert and sometimes extrovert. It's all right if you don't know. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I would say I'm probably more introverted than extroverted.
I'm going to guess everyone here is probably an INFJ or an INFP. Although, Renee, you might be an ENFJ or an ENFP. You may be closer to the extroversion side.
Yeah. Since I've been on the spiritual journey these past years, I've been more I, because it's been very introspective, and I've been alone, and I haven't been working in a workplace, etc. So it's made me more of an I than an E.
Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
All right. So any download suggestions about what we're doing today?
So,
Good.
so we're compiling the group messages today.
Yeah, so I want to compile the group messages today, and then we'll also see if we have time that we can like spend some time with our own messages. But I'd love to have like, here's all the group messages, and then each one of us, I'd love to also have those like in one place, because I have a feeling even some of the ones that you might think are like yours actually apply to everybody. So yeah, and I do have a little secret project in the back of my mind for this, so you'll find out about that next month.
We'll definitely burn the boxes.
That's
All right.
because I'm a little nervous about today because I don't have any notes from this year, because I want, my process is I write notes, but then once I either assimilate them or transfer them into something usable, I actually release all notes. Like I can't stand a bunch of notes sitting around. So anyway, so I'm like really nervous because I'm like, oh my God, I know all those sayings that you're talking about and I don't remember them. So I don't know how I'm going to contribute.
So what I'd love to do to like just quell that is like, I want us to do this first, like go more into the dreaming space and just see like what messages come through. And I also feel like this is like group think. So I don't want anyone to feel stressed out, because I feel like kind of the same, dear Mira. Like if I just try to pull it out of my head, I'm not gonna be able to tell you what the messages are. But if I tune in energetically, I know some will come through. And then for me, I do have my journals, and I do have like, if you want me to send you when we come out of the dreaming part, I can send you like your master heart notes that I think I still have, if you want to like quickly read through that and see if that jogs anything. So like I'm kind of trusting just like the group process in doing it. So
Yeah, great. Then I feel a little bit better.
and it can just be things that like you're feeling like in this moment, this feels important to say or remember, or it's a theme that's up for now.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So let's rearrange clothes and bodies and go ahead and mute everyone. So I'm just picturing for a moment, just kind of shedding today, before the call, last week or two, and opening up that expansive, inner knowing, perfect timing space. Just giving each one of us a time to ground, settle. Just make that heart-to-heart connection that we've developed over the last 11 months or so. And so I just got this image of Diamira with her plant gathering basket, and just wandering through her garden. And I'm just picturing us wandering through the year and rewinding back to last December when I spoke to each of you about being part of this group. And just imagining that you're picking up any messages or any of those breadcrumbs. And whether you want to walk yourself through each month or walk yourself through big events this year or big projects. Let's just take a few minutes to tune in, and then I'll unmute everyone and we can say the messages that have come through and resonate. So I'm going to give everyone as much time and space as you need. And if you want to give me a little ready in the chat box so I know. That you finished your gathering and you're ready to share or speak. Okay. Okay, anyone feeling inspired to go first? Kind of jotted down the ones that came through to me. So I'd love to hear if something similar or the same. I can kind of highlight the ones that came through on multiple channels, and then we'll add to this.
I think I have a lot of the same ones that
Okay.
have maybe said in different words, but similar.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of COVID, I think that was our real time of change. Maybe that was our real purpose of being, our raison d'etre for being here.
Mm.
But there was a reset and a recalibration for all of us. We all went through that at the start of COVID or around the time of March.
Mm-hmm.
And we seem to all be hearing the message that it's go time
Mm-hmm.
for us, and that means leading the way in this time frame in the new feminine age. And you put new earth, so I think that's talking about the same thing. And we're all here in service to humanity and the planet. and you have Burn the Box, but we talked about burning it down, especially Diamira, but we all did our own version of burning or something in our old life down.
Mhm.
Linda, with your relationship with your husband, in totally changing your business, we all burned something down.
Mhm.
What no longer serves, and the old way of being and doing ourself and our business. And that we talked about how there is no separation between personal life, spiritual life, and business life. They're all inextricably linked.
I don't know if I can spell that word.
Yeah, probably your autocorrect will help you out.
No suggestions. You said they're inextricably what?
Linked.
Linked. Anyone have a suggestion?
Yeah, it's EXTRI and then C in extric. Yep, strict IB.
I spelled it wrong too.
And then take the U out.
How many smart women does it take to spell the word inextricably?
Yep.
Good.
And I think this is true for all of us. We all have ancient wisdom that's embedded in our DNA that has messages and lessons to share with us now, and for how to move forward. I've been getting that a lot. I remember giving Megan that message.
Mhm.
And Diamira, you've been working with ancient wisdom. So I think that that's something that's true for all of us
Mhm.
from our past lives.
I love that.
And we are space holders, we are light bearers, and we are light bringers. And I know that there were some other terms, way showers, yes. And that's it.
Awesome. Those are well said, and ones that like didn't spring forward to me, but I'm like 100% yes. Okay, who else?
So just a few pieces. So this is around the death. I have when death is the only answer.
Mm.
So when death is the only answer, yeah, burn it down, or light the death fires, however you want to say that. And then I was thinking of Renee's candle imagery, like I'm just the one candle. So she'd probably be better to say that than I would, but I thought that was significant. And yeah, something. Yes, exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So hold on, I'm just going through my thing. I did have, but I think you have the lead the way with, no, where's the co-shared leadership one?
It was funny. I just heard the words co-shared leadership, and then it like said the gifts of co-shared leadership, but it wasn't like a real complete.
Yeah, I just had a huge like co-shared leadership, like the leadership of the new earth is New Earth leadership is about sharing. It's like council leadership in councils, and it's about sharing that load and also trusting that each person has their own inner authority. And then
This word a lot too. Sovereignty.
Sovereignty was a huge theme that came through, and about each of us claiming and stepping into our sovereignty.
I love that. I forgot that.
And then this one, I love this. This came forward. Megan, you might have said this this is when COVID hit, and we were talking about, just because of tiredness or me, I was burning shit down. And I was like, okay, I don't want to, I don't necessarily know how I want to step forward. And I think you said showing up doesn't have to mean doing something like teaching or meditation. It can mean being present with your people, and it can mean I had it written down. It's like the only thing I had written down. It can mean being present with your people and radiating your light.
I love that.
That's awesome.
You guys. Okay, there you are. And then I loved that quote that Linda shared. I don't think it was a Linda quote. It was somebody else, but Linda was quoting it. She remembered who she was, and then the game changed.
Yes.
And then
Come on. There we go. Do you know who said that, Linda?
Oh,
No. Okay.
Lala Delia, maybe?
yes.
I don't know who that is, but
I bought a candle that had that on it.
No way. That's awesome. Did I spell her name right? Oh, it looks like an H at the end.
Yeah, with an H at the end. Yeah.
and then the last thing, I have two more. One is you're changing as fast as God.
Mm,
I think you said that too, Megan.
that's Don Miguel.
And then another thing that this came forward is letting the structure serve and support you, not no more being a slave to structure.
I love that.
That kind of brought up a good one too. I feel like I said something to you recently, Diamira, about kind of just like what's the most minimal structure that you need in order to be able to play and find the most minimal structure you need to be able to play and share your soul gifts. Something like that. Awesome.
And then everything is just born from, like, to me, I was getting like that alignment piece, but like soul resonance, like from a place of soul resonance, that is where the place that we lead from.
Mm.
Okay.
Love it.
What I got.
This is good stuff. All right, Miss Linda, we haven't taken all the good ones.
Am I unmuted? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I think you guys got everything that I had. I think, I'm not sure if this is already covered, but I wrote, there are people who are searching for your unique dish.
Mm.
Like when we were talking about how we are in the world, like with Renee, like I get that you feel like a weirdo, and there's a bunch of weirdos who want what you have. They're just looking for it. Let's see. You talked about way showing, and I think you've pretty much covered the structure part of it. I just wrote, it's better to be in flow, and structure is for other people. That might be my message.
I feel like that's one for you, but I will. I have to say, I hope you're okay with this because I don't usually, well, I never say your name, but whenever I'm talking about, like looking at online marketing people or thought leaders and you think you have to imitate them, I'm like, for example, if you're a triple Pisces, you don't try to curve yourself into like a structured model. I always think of you. Poetry and flow into cram.
When we did that one call on New Earth leadership, in my notes from that, I have mistakes aren't a problem.
Mm. Is there some like piece of it, like it's how you learn or?
I don't know. There's nothing else with it.
Okay,
So
I feel like
sure.
it's how you grow.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what the conversation was about, that
Mm-hmm.
you can't let mistakes stop you because we think they're these big problems and they're really not.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the other thing from those notes I wrote, receptivity, the birthing process. There is a mother, the benevolent mother, the process of bringing the qualities we're talking about into form. So just being receptive to what wants to be born,
Mm-hmm.
instead of thinking you have to, like there's a thing you're supposed to do, like just be receptive to what wants to be born.
You feel like that's what you're saying, become your own benevolent. Those seem like kind of two separate ideas related, like become your own benevolent mother.
Well, it was probably Rita talking, and she weaves 14 different ideas into one paragraph. So yes, we for sure, the benevolent mother
Yeah.
as a way of being with our emotions and our self-rejection and self-criticism is for sure a separate idea.
Okay. Hey.
Oh, and the other piece was no more rewarding yourself for outcomes. It's time to celebrate yourself for just being you.
Yeah, that's a great point. I remember, especially when you were in the throes of burning your business down, you were like, why do I care if I get likes and views? And, I need to find another metric.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
That's right, Renee. Yes, a new metric of success. Yes.
I think I still have a little meme I created for that, so I'll go back and look what that is.
Yeah. Your open rate and
right.
How many people liked my post and how many people commented and
That's funny. I'm like,
yeah, the new metric of success was basically, how many people have felt joy or changed over a message or word that I shared. How many smiles did something I wrote or spoke bring to my face, or just things like that. I don't remember what some of the other ones were.
And didn't you receive a comment from somebody that said something you did or said changed their life or really touched their heart? And that's the metric of success, I should think.
Exactly.
Like, where did I put that? I think it's in here. I'm like, it's kind of interesting that I feel like we're still like downloading that new metric because it's not like it's just coming. Let's see. I'll look around more. Okay, I'll look around for that. All right, any other ones bubbling up? So then let's, why don't we take the next like 10 minutes to like go through any other journals, or if you want to do your own meditation, and see if there's messages that pertain to you. And if you might also unearth some that bubble up from the group. And Diamir or anyone else, does anyone want me to look and see if I can find their Master Heart Notes?
No, I actually have all the Master Heart Notes
Okay.
and the notes from our session too, Megan. So.
Okay. All right.
So you said 10 minutes?
Yeah, about 10 minutes. I'll put the timer on and I'll kind of check in with everyone at that time to see if we seem like we're done or we need a little more time.
Okay.
Oh, I feel like I could probably use even like 10 more minutes. Where is everyone else at? Yeah, Renee saying yes.
I have a question. Are
Yeah.
we supposed to be just kind of, because I have all the stuff in just like 3 or 4 different documents. What am I supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be,
So my idea is that you're going to be like either saying, or if you have it like in one place and you want to throw it in the chat box and I can scoop it up and grab it and put it in one document, it's like we're just compiling like what were those messages that you felt like were just for you this year?
okay.
Because I want to be able to like give that to you as a reflection. And if there's like what I'm noticing as I'm going through things, I'm like, oh, there's some messages that are just for me, but I'm also finding more that felt like group messages. So if you want to also like note any other kind of theme
Okay.
messages.
Okay, in that case, then I'll just compile the different ones.
Okay. Okay, so if everyone wants to finish up, I see Linda put hers in the chat and I will grab those. I think it's interesting. Normally in a year, I go through one journal, and this year I'm like on the third one. And as I was flipping through, because I wrote a lot of the Master Heart stuff in there, I was like, there's good stuff in there. I should look at this more often.
Would you prefer that we put our messages in the chat? Is that easier?
Yeah, if you have them, that's super easy. And then we can, I can put them all in one spot.
I have a lot of them. Never mind.
I did find one that might be for everyone.
Okay, what's that?
It came from a Rita-ism. Take action out of inspiration, not out of need.
Good one. Yeah, I found a bunch of group ones. Like, don't push. What do you need to say yes or no to? I can just share these on the screen, really.
Move this down.
I was thinking about all the conversations we had about like your offerings are going to come from being you and how you live and enjoy your life.
Mm.
And then I remembered that whole piece around like you were born and made for and trained for these times. Like we've all been waiting for this time.
Yes.
It kind of came through during COVID. Just like the whole you don't need to be perfect. Double down on love and your like inner tools. It's all going to work out. Trust. And I was just thinking about how much we've talked about like honoring the energetic space you're in now. Like don't try to fight against yourself if you're not feeling it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Renee, if you don't have them typed, I'm happy to like, if you say them, I can type them as we go. I didn't know if you had them like compiled somewhere.
No.
Okay.
There's journals and stuff.
Okay, I'm pretty fast at transcribing. Do you want to go ahead and say yours and then we'll loop back to?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay. I was just typing this one. Be super honest about Mary, about struggles with the church, about struggles in life, etc. If people wish to bail out of your list, now's the time to do it. And they don't have to join your group either. Now's not the time to be a shrinking violet. Another one is step out into the sunshine and be seen. And I got that one recently again too. And just joy full stop needs to lead all the messages, needs to lead everything. Joy. All caps, underlined 5 times. And I went back to the notes of our mini Master Heart, which was really helpful. This is a journey to a new way of living your faith. And my community is other women who are struggling to live their faith too. That was from Linda. And the Facebook group is creating a container for other women who are in the same boat. And they can come and belong. and there's no strategy to it. It's easy. Know your truth and share it, and don't care if it resonates. And also, you don't even have to start out with, I'm a Mother Mary channel. It doesn't matter, because Mother Mary is always speaking through you no matter what. Just be a woman on a journey. And Diamira said, what if you just started having fun? And she said the whole thing about, I have to bring a message to the people, is a total buzzkill. She also said, you burn the boxes, and this includes the spiritual leader persona. Embody the message of Mother Mary however you want to. And she said to Mother Mary said, this is not about me. This is not about what I have to say. This is about your incredible ability. And reverence is fun and irreverently holy too. I just have a couple more.
Cool.
You said, Megan, the Facebook group is the place where you show up doing the things you already do. And you were talking about something called Wield Your Spotlight. I think it was from the book. And you're acting as a storytelling catalyst. Yeah.
So many of yours make me smile.
Yeah. And one, I couldn't find my notes from my big master heart, but I was just asking for a gist from that. And I heard, did I hear? I heard, yes, you lived many lifetimes in service, but don't get bogged down in them. All that preparation was for this lifetime. And mine the gold, which is the ancient wisdom. Ask what the ancient wisdom is and what it has to show you, and see what the wisdom is. The ancient wisdom, go ask for it.
What did you say? You lived many lifetimes in service. Don't get bogged down in them. And then you said I missed the last part of that.
All that was in preparation for this lifetime.
Okay.
Can I just tell you the funniest thing that happened?
Yes.
So obviously I just sent that document because it wouldn't let me copy and paste. And so I was in there and I was just going to make a quick edit, and all of a sudden my whole document lit up in this red highlight thing, and it said, an anonymous platypus is copying your document.
That was me.
Who is an anonymous platypus? Like, and then I realized, I was like, oh my God, it's because I gave Zoom the permission. It must be Megan. I was like, they called you, and I now that says anonymous platypus.
Oh, that is so bizarre. I will wear that proudly. Why not? I just did copy yours. So if you added something, just tell me what you added.
No,
So,
I didn't. I was just gonna make it nicer for you.
oh, yeah, I grabbed it and I made it one font and one size. So for Linda and Diamira, do you want to speak out loud any of yours? Do you feel complete with, you want me to leave it on the screen so everyone can read it? Like what feels good to you?
I want to see.
Okay. You want to, what do you prefer, reading or speaking it out loud, Diamira? Or I should say giving people a chance to read it or speaking it out loud.
Oh, either way, I can read it if that's easier for people, or they can just wade through it. I'll just read it. So fun, aligned, passionate, integrity, freedom, alive, sacred, zesty, enchantment, easeful, harmony, essence-led, co-creative. That's all of it in a nutshell. Remember to include and collaborate with your spirit team. We're in this together. Remember to allow synthesis, slow down to allow arrival, cook, play, forest hopping, vision, be, sit in darkness, stillness, and silence. Then weaving all the elements of my new business together in a light structure that gives plenty of room to play and express myself. And I named all of those elements. Then moving forward, I am whole and multifaceted, bringing all of me forward. No more packaging. It's time to express the art of my soul. This was from Megan's Master Heart for me. Light tetrahedron is your light structure. Feed your light, or feed the light. It's already contained in your code and DNA, and you have done the work to embodiment. Now play. Your work, you living your life and your spiritual practice is your work, and the products come out of that. Look to your elders, Renee said. Saint Hildegard, she was a medieval nun and Renaissance woman. They didn't worry about packaging, strategy, sequence. We burn the boxes, she said. There's no going back in the box. The old way of doing business, that shit is burned up. Do it your way. All your gifts are interwoven. They're not all over the place. They are together. The old ways are gone, but the ancient ways are yours. Your elders are with you, Kaliak, the old woman in crone. And Linda talked about blooming and paying attention to the next bloom. Linda also called me a Renaissance woman and said I was very strong. You're not a bunch of pieces. You're already whole, amazing, knowledgeable, deep. It's all there. Being one thing at a time, but all of the things all of the time. Say you with many faces. So I'm me with many faces. Teach about myths and mists and legends along with essences. Tell stories. Teach about how to live and how other women can become their full Renaissance self. A way shower, because she said I inspired her to live in my world, not in her world, not the one others think that I should live in. Creating a place of belonging for other people like me. And then I love this, Diamira, Rose, Hildegard, Claire.
That is awesome.
Where did that come from?
That was, I think you guys all came up with that like during the Master Heart, because you said Hildegard and Claire is from Outlander, which is
right.
bringing forward. Megan might have put them all together. Then this was in Megan and my session. How can I share my newly emerged essence in the world? What is the minimal, messy structure you need to put in place to be able to play? Daily, weekly, monthly, tune into the theme of emergence with the energy of play. What actions are you inspired to take? How can I share my newly emerged essence in the world? New Avalon Medicine is the overall framework, then checking in for all your projects at what appeals and what is most fun. And then I like to be tender, gentle, and restful with the reemergence, both inner healing time and outer action time. And I'm building the bridge, setting the blueprint as it emerges from my heart and soul. So going slow is key. Deep soul resonance is a requisite for my commitment and focalization of my creative life force in each endeavor. using my words to originate and transmit the new earth templates and holy memory of Gaia through books, stories, poems, and podcasts, creating magic potions of forest and flower alchemy that contain medicine codes for healing and remembrance, and healing integration of all my selves. May I draw from the best of these selves to express my essence while embracing those still wounded parts into healed wholeness. Oh, and may I refine and amplify the expressions of my soul's essence as my gifts and medicine radiate out into the world.
It's like, it's kind of fascinating to me, because when I'm hearing all this, I'm like, wow, you really went through like a rebranding process in like such a unique way of just like burning everything down and like seeing what was left and like what's rising out of those ashes.
Yeah, I did rebrand, didn't I?
Yeah, like it's really wild, because it's also just like so much like the essence of you and what all these messages that came through.
It's like those tender grasses that start to pop up through like a burned forest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the little bits of green that start to poke up through the ashes.
And Miss Linda, would you like to share yours?
Sure. It's better to be in flow than to cram yourself into structure. I think these two were from, or these next three were from my Master Heart. The source, I think Renee shared this, the source of my truth is in my heart. The story I carry doesn't matter. And then Tia Mira had that beautiful image of me running through the woods. And so stop running from myself. Your song is not your power. Your song is your power's expression in the world. And then I think the rest of these are from the business Deva that we did. So you are on the right path. Create a ritual. Actually, this might be Megan. Create a ritual for sending messages. Slow down, build my energy, then send the message. Trust myself. There is no way around fear and doubt. The only way is through. I probably say that to myself 50 times a day right now. Let my passion for people who are suffering in intolerable situations bring the energy I need. Call on that when I speak or write. Let them see themselves through my words. Call on my own frustrations, my own fears and uncertainties and doubts, and talk about those. Be a stand for myself. Open myself to receive, believe that I will receive, that I deserve to receive, that it is my birthright. Believe the ones who believe in me. And this was for sure from the business, Deva. Just speak your truth. That's the way for you to do it.
Girl, you have gone on such a journey this year.
Oh my God. I just want to go spend a month on a beach somewhere.
Okay, I want to join you.
Right? And not like have to think about any of this at all.
I hear you.
Swim with the fishes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can I just say that you made your video look so easy and easy breezy.
You guys are awesome, because when I finished yesterday, I was like, that sucked.
No, what?
I hated it. And then so many people were like, oh my God, that was great. And so then I watched it and I was like, oh, it actually wasn't that bad. So it's so great that you feed me that, because
Yeah.
I can get lost in my own crap.
Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned in my comment, it was just so real. And I love that you shared a very vulnerable side of yourself. I think that's what really came through.
Well, that is what I've been working towards all year. So
Yeah.
it was so awesome to have you notice that, because I'm like, oh, I'm doing it.
I did it.
Yes. And I don't know where'd you pull that beautiful landing page out of? You've been cooking up something back there, not telling. Wow.
I did it. It's the first one I ever did.
Are you serious?
I had a little help on the copy. But yeah, I did it.
You made it? You did it on Canva or something, or?
I actually created it in PowerPoint, my go-to, and then my VA did whatever magic you have to do to make it so it can actually be a web page. But I created all the colors and the art and
That's awesome.
yeah,
You
so
did a great job.
Amazing.
Yeah.
you.
Wow.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right,
you.
I will go share mine, and then I would love to do our like kind of tie up with maybe everyone give a little 3-minute report. I feel like we got a little bit from Linda of just how your week is going. So for me,
I have a hard fast stop at 4:30. So just
okay,
yeah. So
okay. So for mine, just embodying Hathor, Morgana, and Angel of Death rebirth energy. Use Badger in your business. Use impeccability with your family. Those were like cards I had drawn at the beginning of the year. Lead from your essence. Come from being warm-hearted. Give yourself lots of space, stillness, time to tune in and dream. Be bold. Speak up for what I want. Hold space. Create community. Dissolve and soften the rigid energy. I am a light bearer, light amplifier, truth teller, and guru who's one of the people. I'm here to be a catalyst, connector, communicator, and channel for others. Keep syncing up with your soul. You've got this. The world needs my gifts. Accept and call in all my traditions, ancestors, and lineages. Be gentle with yourself. You are resilient. Own the Nawal. The income will come, and I am here to be of service. And I feel like I could have written pages, but those were like the big ones that came through. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like this has like a lot of energy in it, or just like a lot of great places to just constantly go back and reference for ourselves. So thank you for taking the time with me to compile all that. Let me stop the screen share so we can see each other better. So Diamir, I'd love, why don't you start since you have to go off first? Just like, let's do a quick kind of like 3-minute update on what you up to, how you doing. I feel like we've gone through like elections and like just so much in the last 7 days.
yes, it's a whole new world. So, okay. Book update is that I finished going through the entire book again, incorporating all the edits that you suggested and all the copy and all that stuff. There's still a few pieces that I could funnel in, some background that I wrote based on Megan's your suggestions. I did have a conversation today with Linda Sterling. Linda,
Did you love her?
I really like her energy. I really like her a lot. So the next step would be to send her my manuscript, and she just would read through it in a couple weeks to let me know if it's something she thought that she could work with.
Yep.
She said it doesn't have to be perfect. She's really just looking for my style of writing and my writing in general to see if it's something she can work with.
Cool.
And if she can market it. So that's the thing. There's just a couple pieces. There is, because she is a small editor and she gives you a lot more, like you actually make 25% versus 3 to 5%.
Mm-hmm.
And 50% she actually reinvests in marketing, and then 25% she keeps. But there is an upfront fee of $6,000.
Yes.
And so there's that. So I would just have to, I just have to be
Yeah, you have to weigh that all out. But I love that how she tells people, let me read it, and then I'll tell you if I think I can market it. Instead of being like, sure, I'll take it, and then not doing anything with it. So
yes,
I'm glad that
exactly.
you talked with her.
Yeah, I just love her energy. I have a really good feeling about it, about her. So she did say my book is actually too long. It would not need to be cut down like 20,000 words probably.
Wow.
So anyways, we'll see. So moving on to the next thing, obviously I continue collecting essences. Just had an
Cannot wait for Thursday.
Oh yes, and then yes, we're doing the Essence Circle on Thursday. Y'all do not drink your essences. Has everybody, Linda, you haven't gotten yours
I
yet.
didn't get mine yet, but I'm not worried. Like I said, I do live in the Outback, and so if Renee got hers yesterday in Austin, mine's probably will be here tomorrow.
I know. I'm only worried because I think tomorrow is a bank holiday.
You're right. Yes. It's Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Okay, like if you have to, like I could send my husband out to go to the post office on Thursday. Well, actually the mail wouldn't have arrived by then. We'll just have to intend it got here.
Did see what happens.
We
But
need to, yeah, we have to intend to get there.
All right,
Um,
everyone call in the essence to your mailbox.
Call it in, guys.
yes, just
We can't do it without the essence. Yeah. So there's that, and essences are flowing, working. I reached out to Teresa for a little website update, and that's pretty much where I'm at, I think.
Nice. Okay, who wants to get one more in before Demira has to go? Renee, you want to go next?
Sure. Last week was brutal. I just want to say, I feel like I was in the dryer on the spin cycle, and yeah, it was unproductive and awful. It fucking sucked. And but I feel like I've come out. I feel like I have shed 4 years of shit. I'm sorry, I'm dropping swear
Go
words.
for it.
Place. I do feel like I've come out the other side of having this awful pall cast over my life for 4 years, and I'm feeling hopeful for humanity. As somebody who is a spokeswoman and a stand for humanity, I feel hope for humanity. So I'm feeling hopeful, feeling better. That's me.
Whew. Linda, do you have anything to add? I feel like we kind of got your mini one, but do you want to sum it up anymore?
I've had 3 people sign up for my workshops.
Awesome.
And yeah, I think that's
You're
it.
doing it.
That's what I said.
Wow, you guys are on it. You're like taking minute bits of your 3 minutes. All right, so what's my download? I was really surprised after the elation and the wow, I can't believe this many people voted for Trump. I felt really tired and just like so feeling like how much we've all gone through the ringer in so many ways this past year. And I just keep getting that message to refill energy, which I've been doing every day. I'm having like major detox and like rash thing happening in areas that are not fun to have rashes. So I'm like not happy about that, but just trusting like it's good to get all this stuff out of my body. And then I have been so listening to guidance. I sent out an email or 2 emails to Sherry's list and one to my list inviting people to do one-on-one coaching with me. And I was thinking like 3 to 5 clients, and I have like 32 sales calls.
Oh my gosh.
Which is awesome. And it's also honestly like a little overwhelming because I'm like, I don't even know when I would schedule time for people to start working with me, but I have just been like, okay, I'm just going to show up and talk to each person. And, you know, if it's not a good fit, say no and, you know, find other ways they could work. And it was actually refreshing today. I was talking to this woman and I could see what she really needs is like soul work. And she kind of like got to the point of agreeing to that, but then, you know, wanting still some of the business coaching. And when we talked about the investment, you know, she's like, okay, I'm gonna have to think about it and talk with my husband. And I'm like, oh, this is great. I don't have to like push to sell her on like how she could possibly do the money part because there's 30 other people to talk to right now. So yeah, it was like that was kind of like it's been one of those like when I check in with my guides, my little business Deva is like swirling around and she's like, you asked for it, you want us to show you abundance. And then she's also a little bit like, and you weren't very specific about, you know, like the parameters of who you wanted to work with. So that's been kind of interesting. And then this morning I did a podcast with 2 guys, which I almost never end up talking to guys. And they were great because they were kind of like, you're like a spiritual unicorn. Like I could tell like what the way I was talking was like way to the side of the way they normally experience it, but they were also super engaged with it and they were like, oh my God, that was awesome. And you kind of made us think about some things. So I also can just feel, I'm like, okay, my like energy message is going out and I've been getting a lot of invitations for podcasts that people are just like referring me as opposed to me trying to figure out how to do it. So I'm feeling the wave is like building, and I'm doing my best just to be like, okay, I got this. I can keep tuning in and keep making space and keep showing up each day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And thank you. You reminded me. I got your your text, or I can't remember what it was, but maybe it was an email.
An email, yeah.
Yes. Scheduled time with you. Yeah. Now that I know you have 30 calls.
So, well, I had already been thinking about sending that out because, like I don't usually work over Christmas and New Year's, and I like everyone to know that. And then when I saw what's happening with my calendar, I'm like, okay, I want to make sure that all my existing clients are well taken care of. So if you can't find a time on the calendar, just like email me and we'll like find a spot for you. Yeah. And you and Damara.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's what's going on.
Yay.
Yay. I know. I was thinking about Linda when you were just saying like, oh, it's so awesome you have access to Sherry's list. And I'm like, okay, I tested out that theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that there is, so I'm just getting this idea that you are going to get a lot of practice in selling your own stuff, and there will be the right amount of people who are actually clients.
Yeah, that's what I keep. That's what
But
I keep.
You could form another group if you wanted to, a group out of the people who are one-on-one expensive.
Yeah. I'm going to sit with that. And the other kind of cool thing that's happening is I pitched to Sherry. We're going to do like Unplanned 2021 and do like a 3-day event in December that's like shamanic journeying, vision quest, like the art projects we've been doing, that kind of stuff. And I told Bran about it. He was super excited. And then we're going to do a program through Wanderlust that's kind of like the business you were born to birth and like soul aligned business. So I'm also just excited to see it's still in the business coaching realm, but it also is like more me and like what I want to be doing. So I'm like, you know what, just giving myself that time to transition and figure it out and let it all come. So yeah, good stuff.
That's great. I have to say too, I don't know if you saw my Facebook post from Saturday, but I felt inspired. Just when it finally hit me, I felt so elated that I turned on my disco light and I put on some music and I danced, and just to Happy, but the song Pharrell Williams, just a little tiny bit. And before I had time to think about it and to be embarrassed or be like, no, that's stupid, I hit share.
Nice.
Posted it to Facebook, and I've gotten so many comments back from like, oh my gosh, you made me smile. That is so joyful. I love it. And
I didn't see that. I have to look at it.
I'm going to go look for it. I didn't see it either.
Yeah. And
is it on your personal page?
And it was like just kind of waiting, like putting a feeler out there. In addition to the beautiful artwork that I finally, like it was so easy once I was able to give Janet some help, some parameters. I was like, wow, I should have thought of doing a Pinterest board with the right vibe for this artwork to start with. But I guess I didn't really know. I just said, here's the name. Yeah. She tried something, and it's like, okay, clearly I need to think about this a little bit more. So yeah.
And that's the creative process though, because I've even like done things where I've had Pinterest boards and we've had conversations, and the first thing that comes back is like, and you just have to like talk it through until you get it to where you want it. So I love what you ended up with. That was awesome. And I'm so happy that you did a little like show yourself and like got that feedback, because I feel like that's like the seeds that get planted that then start spreading.
Right. And people use the language. They were like, this is pure joy. This is joyful. I love it. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
And to throw that out there to my whole group and not be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Do I look like a fool? Who gives a shit?
It's party time. That's cute.
That's awesome. I've been watching out of the corner of my eye on my other monitor here. It's super cool. I love your disco light.
I can't buy like $13 Amazon special.
I love it.
That was money well spent.
I should get one of those for my daughter because we have one of these. It's more like a laser light thing, but it only like sometimes works. And that is her favorite thing, is to like have a dance party and have like the lights going. So
I love
send me
it.
the link for yours so I know like what one you got.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, actually post it in the group because I want it too, because you just made me think of my little granddaughter. She would love that.
Yeah.
Sure
Awesome.
thing. And Linda, I have to say, thank you, Michigan.
I had so many messages like, what are you guys doing over there? And I'm like, I'm trying, I'm holding space, but it seemed dicey there for a while for sure. But
Wow, you really turned it out. Michigan turned it out, turned it up.
well, we are not traditionally a red state. We have been going more red over the time, but typically, I mean, we elected Barack Obama both times, but
Right.
yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like we're gonna have to like dig in again because the ride is not over, I think, by any means. So
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
we'll hold some space on our call on Thursday. So
Yeah, yes. And especially I don't want to I could talk about this all day, but just the 71 million people who voted,
I know.
who said, okay, you're cool.
I know.
That broke my heart. That I think
Yeah.
that was the pain I was sitting in last week.
Yep. I feel yeah. We have like a long healing road to go down. But you know what really struck me when I was listening to Biden's speech? I'm like, oh, he's actually embodying more feminine qualities. Like he's talking about empathy and healing and, you know, things that are in that more feminine realm. And Trump is really representing that old masculine paradigm is dying. And it's just like whenever that kind of predator energy is about to die, it's going to fight for its freaking life. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, kicking and screaming. And I heard a beautiful quote from a woman who, she was one of the founders of Black Voters Matter. Her name's Latasha Brown. She helped to flip Georgia, and she said, "My philosophy is in love of humanity. So I do this in love of humanity." And she says she wishes that people would live their lives and make their choices in love of humanity, not be like, oh, I got my tax break, I'm good. I got mine. Screw y'all.
Yeah.
But be in love of humanity. And I was like, wow, I'm hearing those words that I hear from my guidance are out there.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're spoken by Biden or others, that language is being used. So I know that it's a big time. It's an important time.
It is. All right, ladies. Well, I look forward. I feel like I'm going to get to spend almost all of Thursday with you between Diamira's call and the Fully Shining Woman call. So it's going to be a nice treat to like drop into that space. So I will see you in a day or two.
All right.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you, ladies.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.